It's going to be one of those YouTube TikTok trends. Hello, and come on! Hello, my lovely friends, and welcome to another episode of Arlocast, the only podcast, when you really stop to think about it, that I do. By my estimate, today we are 92% likely to have a heck of a time, 6% likely to have a pretty good time, and that last 2%, we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. Our first guest is part of a trio. You could consider him a part of a Nintendo-tubing triforce of sorts. If Alex only represents power, John Cartwright represents wisdom, well, then things wouldn't quite feel right around here if we didn't finish things off with courage. Please welcome Xeon Grassl? How do you pronounce that?
It's pronounced Grassl, but you got the first name, and that to me that is the most important thing.
Well, yeah, I always thought it was Zion, but then I met you when you said it with your face that it's Xeon. I'm like, what's this guy talking about?
I probably gave you the 5-minute explanation right then and there. I went, Arlo, this is the deal.
You brought up your chart. You just have these charts on you all the time. Xeon, what do you do? Where do you do it?
You pretty much spelled it out right then and there. I make videos with John and Alex over at Nintendo Life on the YouTube channel. Sometimes I write articles, not too often because I'm usually too lazy or preoccupied with videos and stuff, or at least that's what I tell myself. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Yeah. Good.
I gotta say, I'm always like, the idea of writing an article and then just like basically writing a video script, but then just hitting post instead of like then having to make a video out of it. I'm always a little bit jealous of the guys on the article side.
It's definitely a different experience. It is nice. And the fact that we can go back and edit.
I feel like they're getting off easy.
Yeah, you could just go back and fix something, like I once made a video about an accessory and I mispronounced the accessory's name every time I said it in the video. And I didn't realize until it was done. And I can't go back and fix that. It's just forever incorrect. So
career over. No, that's the end. I made a mistake about a Sonic thing once, and I'm just like, I'm still dealing with the ramifications of that. Well, I'm glad that you are on the show. A lot of people, especially after having John and Alex, everyone's like, where's Xeon? Got to have Xeon on the show. Our second guest is a comedy troupe that brings classic video game characters and tropes into the real world, and the result is a whole lot of laughs.
Huh?
Oh, wait, no, that's Beta64. Sorry, yeah, okay. That's Mega, okay, no. Sorry, I didn't, I didn't bring it.
I was so confused. You know what's really funny is that ain't the first time that's happened.
Like, legitimately?
Like legitimate. When I started my channel, hi, I'm Andrew Beta64,
yes,
not
hi,
Mega64. I swear. When I started, people were all like, "Oh, dude, Beta64, he's a Mega64 ripoff." They're just the same channel. That was like after I posted 4 videos, like my first 4 videos. They were all like, "Oh, dude, he's just Mega64." I'm like, it's not even
literally not even close to the same thing.
Yeah, were you out like dressing up as Tetris blocks, fitting into grocery store displays?
That might be the reason why they thought that. No, I didn't. No. See, what people don't know is I started Beta64 dressed entirely as Rocco Botti.
Well, see, there you go. There's the confusion there. Yeah.
I don't know why people were so confused. Do you think that was it?
I think a lot could lead to that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I should stop doing that now. I'll dress up as someone else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Dress up as
a blue monster.
Oh yeah, no one's done that before.
You know what's funny is I went to PAX West and Mega64 had a booth, and it's funny because like there's all these different like spheres. We talked about this 1 or 2 weeks ago. There's all these different spheres of like gaming channels on YouTube, and like sometimes you get crossovers, and sometimes like you get just these big divides, and people will just like, you'll have no idea who they are, or they'll have no idea who you are, even though you're kind of dealing in sort of the same thing. So like it's just like I'm not a huge YouTuber, but I'm like kind of at that point where at least like most people in my sphere will kind of like at least know who I am, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was there and they had a booth and I met them and I basically just had to meet them like as a fan and nobody had ever seen me at all. And in fact, I have a very funny picture of them looking like kind of weirded out, taking a picture with me.
Ooh, dude, do these podcasts visual at all? Like in any way?
Sorry, no.
I want you to put the picture up right now.
I'll find the picture. Maybe I'll tweet it. I have a lot of
describe it with audio.
I have a lot of con pictures that I just have never gotten off my phone and onto Twitter and stuff. Anyway, though, we haven't gotten to the heart of the matter. Andrew, what do you do on Beta64?
What do I do? Well, I'll tell you what I do.
Tell me.
I post video game documentary videos that talk about the creation of the game from its inception in the minds of developers to it being finally put into the gaming sphere and everything in between, as well as unused objects and sounds and stuff, all documented in one comprehensive video. Now, granted, I haven't posted a video in a year. I am working on one. So technically, I'm probably better off saying I'm a live streamer. If I'm being honest, that's probably the better thing to say now, but I am working on one. I swear.
Yeah, isn't that one you're working on? Like it's a lot of work, right? It's a big boy.
It's the Battle for Bikini Bottom SpongeBob one. It's over an hour long.
Wow.
I have interviews directly with all the developers. I'm pretty much the entire team. I have all this exclusive info. Something like a big find, like a really big find happened not even like 2 weeks ago. That is now in the video.
Wow.
So this is the big kahunga. This is the giganto. But
You
anyway,
gotta watch out though, because the rule of YouTube is the more amazing stuff you get for the video, the more of your heart you put into it. You know what I'm gonna say, right?
I know what you're gonna say.
The fewer views that you're gonna get. Whereas if you're just like bikini bottom rehydrated reaction, and you're like,
just mispronounce the name in the title and it'll get tons.
No, that's actually a great Battle for Bikini Bottom dehydrated review. Then
Exactly.
They know what they're getting.
So to tick all of the boxes that we need to tick, we've talked about what Andrew is doing right now. Xeon, what are you currently working on?
Oh gosh, I just edited a couple discussions and I adapted our review of Doki Doki Literature Club, and I went in completely blind, and that was a great experience.
Did you like recently?
Yeah, so I just played the Plus version on Switch.
How the heck did you do that blind?
Well, so I mean, I knew that there were some twists and turns, but I didn't know what. And my memory sometimes I just don't remember stuff. Like I think I'll
honestly,
see it. Yeah,
that's a good thing for gaming. That's a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But then I also, when the Plus version got announced, I went and muted every single potential way that could have gotten, dropped into my feed. And so I went in and blind to that, and I had a great time, even though it was a little traumatic.
Arlo,
I've heard it's not the most family-friendly game. Yeah,
I was gonna say, of all the people are wondering, the whole audience are wondering, what do you think of anime?
That's a good question.
I don't want to make anyone mad.
What do you think of Doki Doki Literature Club?
I'm not a big anime guy, and I don't know much about that game. I've just heard that it's not very family-friendly, and that I probably won't be covering it on the channel. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
Secondary channel, Arlo After Hours. Only Doki Doki Literature Club content.
It's the only thing.
That's the
Arlo
only thing.
with sunglasses on, and just you're wearing like a crazy button-up shirt. You're just letting loose. And the first game you play is Doki Doki Literature Club.
I'll tell you what, the anime stuff. I like it when the thing happens.
Yeah, here on Arlo After Hours, we can bump the language up to PG, maybe even TVY7.
Oh my gosh.
That's a term I've not heard in a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, I suppose,
you heard it here, folks.
Unless you have any other ridiculous things to say about anime, I think that we should dig into the meat of this. There was one large... Oh, no, I got to do the thing. And now it's time for... What's in the news? You gotta have
What
the
is in the
whole
news?
music cue thing. Okay.
Is this where the jingle happens?
Yeah, it already happened.
Nice. Oh, okay. Oh, we're in the future now.
We are.
Oh man,
So
technology's amazing.
there's one big news story that happened this week, and that was the announcement of the Switch OLED model.
Okay, is it OLED or OLED?
I think,
I don't even know-
technically it's OLED. I think just colloquially, people have started to say,
Okay.
yeah, because you
I
don't
said
say
it on
LED.
a stream and someone made fun of me.
No,
I was
everybody
gonna say,
says
I don't even know if
OLED.
Nintendo knows.
I say OLED.
Because the term is it's basically just tacked on at the end of the Switch name, anyways,
that's what
even
I
in all
always
their
thought.
tweets. It's so strange. So Xeon, OLED, OLED, whatever. Mega 64, Beta 64.
It's all the same.
So, yeah,
it's
exactly.
all the same.
Absolutely.
Arlo, Scott the Waz.
Same diff. Just tweak the pronunciation. So I would say this topic is quite hot right now. It's a little divisive. I feel like there are a lot of divisive topics that arise, but then every once in a while you get one that has enough people divided on both sides where it's like everybody's getting a little extra grumpy, and it starts to be this thing where stop complaining. Nobody promised you anything. So you know what I mean? Like the people who are like stop complaining are like extra annoyed at the people who are complaining, but I naturally love to complain. That's literally my job.
My job is to complain and make you annoyed.
Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm coming from right now.
So first things first, Nintendo bad, Switch bad, GameCube best.
Exactly.
There we go.
I mean,
Bases
can the
covered.
Switch play Thousand Year Door or Chibi Robo? Nope.
Exactly.
It cannot.
I'm sorry.
Or Pikmin 2?
Can I not play the original Mario Golf on my Switch?
You can not.
Yeah, we're not going to let you do that. Sorry.
Oh my! They're targeting me.
So.
All right, Arlo. What are we talking about?
So what? Okay, I've given a lot of thoughts on this. I am considering doing like a full video. I might even do like a little like, this is a safe space to complain about the Switch OLED.
It sucks that we have to do that. It sucks. I swear this is a safe space. It's gonna be okay. It's like, oh.
I don't even know if I should bring this up, but we just released a video today. It went up today. I forgot. We recorded it yesterday. And it's this is over on Nintendo Life, but it's John, Alex, and I all talking about the Switch OLED and or OLED. I don't know. It's gonna be OLED for me now. And it has a decent dislike ratio. And I think the reason is because we were kind of defending the fact that it's not the Switch Pro, and that's fine at the end of the day. And it seems like, there's just a lot of people that I don't know if these people have all watched the video and heard our thoughts on it. And we're not trying to, opinions are fine. Everybody can feel the way that they feel. I actually don't really like the system a whole lot. And I could talk about
Switch
that more.
in general? Or just
I hate this. The Switch has ruined my life.
Like, I'm more of an Xbox guy. This is just a job.
Yeah.
Nothing passes the 360.
Yeah. Doesn't get better than that.
Hey,
No,
to be
just-
fair, very few things do get better.
And just this upgraded system, but yeah, a lot of people are taking to this very negatively, and it's interesting to see how the community is reacting to this release.
You want to hear something interesting?
I would love to.
I'm about to say something real weird.
Say it.
Should I write it down? Or-
Yes.
okay.
Everyone, get your notebooks out.
All right.
You heard it here first. Andrew from Beta64 hasn't really heard anything negative.
Oh,
What? Where have you been?
I've been on Twitter. Granted, I don't follow a lot of people. I don't follow like a huge amount of people on there, and it's just like most of the people I've heard have just been like either, oh dude, I play freaking handheld all the time. This is great. This is a good thing, or like, I'm not really interested in getting it, but it's like, good for the people who don't have a Switch already. It's like a $50 upgrade. You get a great new screen. It's good. I haven't really heard someone be like genuinely upset. So Arlo, could you do that for me?
Okay. All the rumors said it was gonna be a Switch Pro. I want a
There we
Switch
go.
Pro. That's what I'd really like to say.
That's the anger and frustration I was looking for.
Punching stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I'm upset. Oh, my blood's boiling. Steam's coming out of my ears.
yeah. Nintendo is sure to release a Pro now that you've vented your frustration and punched a wall a lot.
Arlo freaking broke a hole in the wall. We have to release the Switch Pro now.
Man, I don't like that.
Fly him out.
I don't like that look in his eyes.
Release the Pro.
My main thing is just that, like, it's true that we were never promised anything, but there's a lot more nuance to it than that, and that's what I hate is whenever someone boils a thing down to, just like, you were never promised it, so you can't be mad that it's not here. There's more to it than that. It's like, one, there were so many rumors that all ended up being 100% true. Like, these were reports coming out of Bloomberg. This was not...
That just sucks, dude. Like, how does that happen? How do you just, like, who did they talk to?
So, I mean, well, that's why one of the ideas is that... Okay, no, first, cover my other thing. The other problem is that the Switch is struggling to run games, and the longer we go, the more just sick of it I get. And I know Multiple McCain, my editor, he hates playing games on the Switch now because just progressively it gets more and more annoying that they can't even keep a good resolution. They can't even keep a good frame rate. And it's like, there is a need for this. This isn't just a thing that we're whining about because we want the fancy new thing. It's because the Switch kind of stinks. Like, I don't know, it used to be, it was a novelty, and now it's like, yeah, I'd really like something that could run better. But here's the thing, it's one idea is that it was going to happen, or maybe it will still happen in the future, but because of all of the shortages, the parts shortages, silicon shortages, they had to basically release the same model. It was going to be the Pro, but they were just like, but we can't put the better chip in there.
If that's the case, which I could totally see.
Yeah, I could see it.
Totally see. I would assume that would mean, I assume they wouldn't scrap the whole idea. It would just be like, oh, this is like something, just to, get that out there. We can get a new Switch model. We can utilize all these chips and products that we have before. Apparently, the hardware for the Switch is about ready to be like discontinued. So like they're like, oh, we can put this together with a nice screen. Then once the shortages are over, we can release a nice Switch Pro next gen thing. But of course we don't know that, so people are like, well, frick, what do we do?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, if they already had a thing all lined up with Samsung for the new screen, they already designed the new dock, they already have all this different stuff. But then the thing is, like, do they really, because this really is the time for an upgrade. If you wait any longer, it's going to start, like, the longer you wait, the more it feels like, why don't you just wait until the next system? Whereas, like, I really do want an upgraded Switch itself. I don't want to wait until the Switch 2 or whatever, because that could be 3 years away. That's a long time to wait.
You're in a constant battle of like, oh man, this is an okay upgrade. It's like, do I spend the money? Yeah, sure. And then like 3 years later, you're like, oh well, frick, they released a even better one. It's the 3DS syndrome.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the 3DS syndrome, where it's like, do I upgrade to this? Do I not? Do I get the XL? Do I get the new one? But what about the 2DS?
Yeah, it's interesting because like the 3DS and 2DS, those had so many different iterations. It's insane how many those had, and that wasn't. Do any of you know how long of a life cycle that had? Was it maybe like 6 years, maybe 7?
The 3DS was like 7.
Google.
Yeah, because it came out in 2012. 12, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I guess that was.
It came out. It actually came out 2011.
11, right?
Oh, right.
So, and then it was discontinued.
Like last year.
When was it? Yeah, I was gonna say it was like really recently. So, at probably around a little less than 10 years, probably 9 years, I would say.
Sure.
Like being technically Miiverse and like all this stuff shut down in 2017. So you could say it was. Oh no, here we go. Discontinued exactly on September 16th, 2020.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's so long for. I mean, I know it's just a handheld, and Nintendo still, they had the Switch and the Wii U, and I don't know if the Wii U was getting games at that time too. That would be, I guess, probably in 2010, 2011. I think the Wii still was, but I wonder if if the Switch is going to be the sort of system that is just going to live on for. I don't want to say forever, but if it's going to turn into Apple's, iPhone or just a lot of their products where we continue.
Where it should just Switch forever.
Yeah, exactly. And I almost, if the games are forever backwards compatible, I almost wouldn't be mad about that. And if the Switch is just, if that's what we get, and we get improvements on it year after year, that'd be great. But I do see the side of it's been 4 years and we still have next to no hardware improvements, right? So that
isn't it. How many years has the Switch been out for?
I think it came out in March of 20. Oh my gosh, I think it was 2017.
Yeah, so it's a little over 4 years old. So like, and they've even said it's crossed the halfway point.
isn't the life cycle for like a typical Nintendo console like 6 years?
I think it's somewhere around there,
changed.
6 or 7. But yeah, you're right.
7 years.
It used to be 5. Now it's like 7. It really seems like 7 years until the next system comes out is going to be the thing for the Switch.
Because like, I mean, once again, as you said before, I could totally see them waiting. Because like, here's the deal. You mind if I get a little technical up in here?
Please do.
A little technical.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay. So there is absolutely no freaking way that a Switch can run 4K natively. There's no freaking way. That thing is gonna run hot as heck, and it's gonna be like crazy. Okay, but here's the deal. NVIDIA has that new technology, right? That new the AI technology, the DLSS.
Yeah, that's what everyone's been talking about.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Okay, that you can record, you can.
You're going
render
crazy
like,
with the language here.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Off the rails.
I'm so sorry.
I've been making tallies, by the way. You're gonna have to put so much money in the change jar after this.
I'm putting it all in the swear jar. I'm so sorry, Arlo. What happens is every time you say something like that on Arlocast, you actually have to pay him $15.
That's true. We talked about this before the show.
Yeah. So I owe you like a few hundred, but anyway, like that's the big thing, right? That technology like has been in development for I don't want to say like that long. It came out with the 2000 series. And like it's only recently gotten to be like wow, this is really good. Like before it was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now it's like, okay, this is the future. Okay, they need that on the Switch, right? You can't buy a NVIDIA card at all. You just can't get one right now.
Yeah, I know. They're crazy.
The fact of the matter is that these cards that can run the thing, you cannot buy them. The chip shortages, the COVID, and all the bad stuff made this impossible. With the fact that NVIDIA really pushed it out far sooner, just because they were, to my knowledge, they were fighting with AMD. So the problem is
the Bitcoin thing too.
Yeah, and oh gosh,
that was already a problem before the pandemic.
Yeah, that was a big problem. So the thing is, all in all, I don't see how Nintendo could have released a Switch Pro using NVIDIA's DLSS technology realistically in 2021. I just don't see how it could have happened.
Yeah, it could have just been impossible. It could have been that was in the car. It was the plan, but they just couldn't do it.
It's because like I expect, things are going to even out. Life's going to return. Life returns. Life finds a way. That's the quote.
Yeah.
Life finds a way. And if the partnership is there, if it can happen, that would be what would happen. The Switch would have the DLSS, it'll be nice and pretty. But right now, I don't even see how they could have released a Switch Pro, no matter how much I would have wanted one.
So do you think then that potentially sort of kind of like how we had the 3DS and the 3DS XL, and then we got the new, or even with like the DS to the DS Lite to the DSi, do you think that this like OLED model will potentially just replace the standard Switch at some point? And maybe Nintendo will reduce the price by $50, or maybe that will be the new standard price, whenever a Pro comes out? Or do you, because it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel like there's enough difference between the OLED model and the base Switch to really justify having both of them on the market, I suppose.
Yeah, that's one of my big problems with it, is like, if it didn't come down to shortages and all that stuff, I would like, just in a vacuum, I would say it was just a weird decision. There's not really a market for a very, very slightly upgraded $50 more. It's not like, a luxury item that you pay more for. So yeah, I could definitely see like eventually if they did want to price them both down, and it kind of just replaces it.
Yeah, I agree in the fact that it's like, no one's gonna freaking, well, okay, I'm sure there is someone who's gonna buy an original Switch, but it's like, it's $50. Like if you're gonna spend $300 for a console, an extra $50 for a really nice screen, an extra almost inch of real estate on that, even if you're not planning to play in handheld mode a lot, that's still a really nice upgrade for $50. There's no real reason to get a normal Switch.
Right.
But then it's hard, like, I know you can't compare to the competition too much because Nintendo is kind of their own thing, but it is interesting to look at like, okay, well, literally $50 more than that, I could get a PS5.
That's true.
and play the next gen games. And that's when the low power of the Switch starts to feel even more ridiculous. The whole handheld novelty, it's not really as much of a novelty anymore. And the hardware is just so underpowered. It's just like,
Are you a TV man? Are you a docked man?
yes.
That was a weird way for me to put it. I was like, do you play it normally
It went
docked?
right over my head.
My tail has been docked. Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. It's like
The more you know.
I'm kind of a 50-50. I feel like 50% docked, 50% handheld. My wife, she does like 100% handheld. So
Yeah, I
it's
used to
like-
do more
like,
handheld, but I've slowly just gone back to the TV.
Back to the couch, back to the TV,
Yeah.
the classic.
And that's why I want it to run better, is I really don't care. But I mean, like, it's fine. I like the idea of having the cool screen or whatever. But like, I don't know, it's also just kind of like, as a Nintendo fan and a guy who does the channel, like, I want to want it. I want it to be an appealing product, but like, if it weren't for me having a channel and wanting to do like a review thingy on it, then I would not even consider getting this new Switch. And it's weird saying, darn, I wish that you had convinced me to give you a bunch of money. But I don't know. But it's fun to get fancy new things. So yeah, I don't know.
It does. I do get the perspective of, like we all kind of were like hyped up for this potential Switch Pro to be something just incredible, blow us out of the water, something that makes us want to open up our wallets and be like, yeah, I need that. And I think it is kind of a good and a bad thing that it's not that, because at the end of the day, so many of us that already have Switches, we get to save $300 or $500 or whatever that was going to
sure
cost.
do.
We don't have to spend that this year. That's great.
That is a good thing.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Right. Oh my gosh, Lord and Savior, thank you. But yeah, at the same time, I don't know, it's tough. So
It's just I feel like this isn't the end. I feel like there's got to be another step on this. I could see, the Switch Lite still there, good decent price, good for the youngins who want that Switch.
yeah.
And then I could see, the Switch regular kind of going to the wayside, Switch OLED being the new standard, and then the Switch Pro with the epic gameplay and stuff like that.
Can't wait for it to have a big gamer sticker just slapped on the back, so that way everyone knows you're playing on a pro
Every Nintendo
system.
comes with a big gamer sticker.
So everybody knows we are gamers.
Yeah, you're either in or you're out.
Yeah, it's just
Put it on your backpack.
It's just hard because it's like companies usually plan for this stuff so carefully. So if something gets delayed or pushed off course, then it's like, is there a chance that you miss that window and it just stops being worth it? Like I said earlier, if for the last 3 years of its life, we want there to be the luxury item, the Switch Pro, and if that gets delayed by a year, then it's like, really? Do we even want to do that for only 2 years? Is there a window of opportunity that they might just miss?
You never know.
I suppose you're right too, because there's a lot of developers probably at that point aren't going to want to go back and update their games if they potentially have to as well for a better running Switch.
Exactly.
Like the PS4 Pro, the way that one works, where it just like you don't have to upgrade your games. It will just like you can turn on a mode that makes it give more power to the game.
Okay.
I don't exactly know why.
I've never tried
If
it.
I'm being honest, I have a PS4 Pro. I don't know why I have a PS4 Pro now, because it didn't really do much different, even though it had that extra power.
I've seen little things like Disgaea 6. So I played that. I didn't actually like write the written review for that. I just like played it and then adapted our review for video. But I noticed in the settings that there's like 3 different graphical settings that you can turn on. So I wonder if down the road, do you think that would work in that regard? Like if there was a more powerful Switch, realistically, you'd be able to boost it up and then it would just run better, I suppose?
Like that the whole like different quality things for consoles is like the new standard. Like for the PS5, there's a lot of games that can't hit 4K at 60 frames per second. There's a lot of games that can't do it. So what they'll do is they'll create like a mode that's like, oh, it's 2K with 60 frames per second, or you can do 4K at 30 frames per second.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I think that's going to be like the new standard of console gaming.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed by that. I was like, even on the PS4 Pro, it was like, oh, it's not quite 4K. I'm like, okay, but the PS5, that'll be the one where we finally get 4K, 60 FPS. No, you still gotta choose. I don't want to choose.
It's hard, dude.
Where's the $600 one? I'll pay anything. Just make me not have to choose.
I'll tell you how you not choose. You ready for this? I'm gonna say the words. I'm gonna say
Is it PS5 Pro?
PC game.
Oh no!
Arlo's melting.
I won't pay that much.
God.
Whenever
I cap it off at like thousands.
Is it just me, or whenever you hear like 120 frames per second, do you like throw up in your mouth a little bit?
It's like,
Yeah, it's a little too far for me. Yeah, I don't.
I can't see 120. I can't. The human eye can't do that.
60 is good for me. I really don't.
Honestly, yeah, I don't. I can actually see like a little difference, but then people will be like, you liar, you just think you can.
Now it's 16K resolution though. That's what I'm waiting for.
I miss the days where like I didn't even know what a frame rate was. Like I remember playing Harvest. I've brought this up on the channel before, but I remember playing Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life Special Edition on PS2, and somehow it wasn't optimized the best. Like it wasn't ported over from the GameCube, and whenever it rained, it just looked like I was running like a robot, and I didn't get it back in the day. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know why.
The classic.
Yeah, I remember like killing a moblin in Ocarina of Time and the fire, and it makes the game run slow, and I never really put together why that was. You just kind of did, like, I didn't even know what resolutions were. I just knew that the newer systems looked better, but I didn't know why they looked better. And I do actually remember watching a friend play a game on their PC, and it just looked so crisp. And I didn't get why. I was like, why do games look so much better on PC? It was literally just because it's a higher resolution on a high-res screen.
You see, my friend. You see the
know.
world we live in.
I just want to say the quote that you just said. It's like, why do games look better on PC? Arlo, 2021.
Get it on a T-shirt.
You're officially. That's right, everyone. Arlo's a PC gamer. He quit Nintendo. He quit Sony. PC gamer. Exactly.
That's me now. PC Master Race forever. For sure. You guys, wow, incredible stuff. But you know what? I think it's time for a word from our sponsor. This week, not only do I not have a sponsor, not only do we not have a sponsor, but I also didn't write anything funny to put in place of the sponsor because I forgot, and then I ran out of time, and now I'm just here saying this. I don't even have a funny for you. I don't even have a little gag. Last time I did the yard sale gag. This time I got nothing. You got nothing. Not a thing. Nothing. But let's get back to Andrew and Xeon. Well, I think that just about covers it on the Switch OLED. There really wasn't much else to talk about in the news, and we are running a little bit long, unless one of you has like a really special highlight you want to touch on real quick.
I did want to throw out, by the way, have you guys heard of Pokelids?
I thought you were going to say Pokemon.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Pokemon?
Is it the manhole covers?
Yeah.
What?
So I read about that on Nintendo Life.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
So I was bumming through some of our articles just to see what potentially there'd be to talk about. And yeah, so Kate, one of our writers, she wrote today about basically there's these manhole covers in Japan that are themed around Pokemon, and Japan is releasing a ton of new ones, all themed around Vulpix, and is it Alolan Vulpix? I always mispronounce it, but like the icy one. And,
the icy one, icy Pokemon,
and they just look so cool. And apparently they scatter them around all in different places. And I've
actually been there and seen one of those.
I forgot you and I totally talked about your Japan trip. Yeah. So you've seen them before?
Yeah, they're really cool. It's just like whenever you get like close to a Pokemon Center, there will be like flags and stuff of like every single Pokemon just leading up to the center.
It's so cool.
That's really cool.
I just wish I know that America is bigger, and maybe it's like unrealistic to like put a Pokelid in every state or something, but that would be so cool. Like
that'd be
Pokemon,
so neat.
I know you have Pokestops, we have Pokemon Go, but come on, step your game up.
The problem is we're America.
I guess
it's just
someone would have to negotiate maybe with.
Can you even
every
make
single
custom manhole lids in America?
I have
Is
no
that
idea.
legal?
I took a picture of Mario Odyssey over a manhole cover one time because I thought it would look like New York, and I noticed it had like a telephone, like a local telephone company logo on it. So I don't know who owns manhole covers, but I'm not that curious. But if someone knows if they're watching this on YouTube,
I'm not curious enough to look it up.
But if someone wants to let us know, that'd be rad.
That'd be great. We can talk about the next Arlocast.
Yeah, like can we buy a manhole cover and customize it? Is that
Arlo
a thing?
buys a manhole cover
and just
live on podcast.
and just replace the old
GoFundMe.
one. Like you just got to secretly go in the middle of the night and just replace it.
Replace it with Arlo's face.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see you wearing like not a bandana but like a ski mask and a black suit like you're
Arlo after hours.
Exactly.
I
There we
replace a
go.
manhole cover with my face.
We do like
clickbait.
crimes that are like maybe a crime, but you really like, I think maybe, but like no one will probably care.
I think this is more of a service almost at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a public service.
What have I done? I just wanted to talk about these Pokemon manhole covers. I'm so sorry.
You just derailed everything. You've encouraged
Are we
crimes.
done? Is the podcast done?
Well, it's gonna be done when all the people go out and do these crimes.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember when you said, "Hey, do either of you guys have anything small for news you want to talk about?" And I just completely destroyed the podcast.
Did.
Do you want to talk about anything? Yeah. How about, is it a crime if I go and steal a manhole cover?
The
I
next
just want to
episode.
paint it.
Next episode is going to be me on the run doing the podcast like from my car on the freeway doing 100, getting away from the cops.
It's like,
Car full of manhole covers. But before I move on, I just remembered we were talking about the idea of mispronouncing stuff. I've never heard anyone say NVIDIA before. I think you're going to get NVIDIA.
Oh, NVIDIA? Oh no. Is it someone say it different?
I've heard only NVIDIA.
Oh no.
So just get ready.
My whole argument is invalid now.
Get ready for the storm that's coming your way.
The comments are going to be like, Andrew made good points, but then he mispronounced NVIDIA, so he was wrong.
That's
a
the
direct
thing about
quote.
YouTube is like they can love the video. For all you know, they loved the video. But if they want to point out the thing that you said wrong, that's the only comment that they give, and that's the only one that you receive, and that's
The only one. And years are gonna pass. It's gonna be 6 years later, and they're gonna be like, you miss. Okay, I gotta say this. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be embarrassing, but I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
So you know Final Fantasy VII.
I do know of that game.
You know Sephiroth.
I sure do. What'd you call him?
Well, he has an unused costume in Little Big Planet, so I had to say his name. I said Sephiroth.
Not the Sephiroth. Oh no, not the Final Fantasy. Oh.
I know. Do you know how many comments I still get about Sephiroth?
Oh no.
I'm surprised you even have social media anymore.
No,
I'm surprised I didn't just
chase
quit
you right.
YouTube after
chase you right off the internet.
I'm sorry. So I would like to say publicly on the Arlocast, I'm sorry.
Hashtag
It's
forgive
Sephiroth.
Andrew.
Hashtag please forgive. Can we get that trending, please?
I
I can't wait. Forgive Andrew from Beta64 trending, and everyone's like, "Oh crap, what did he do?" And he mispronounced Sephiroth.
Years ago.
I still say Pokemon instead of Pokemon.
Everyone says
And-
Pokemon or Pokemon. I don't think anyone cares.
But tons of people in the comments will still be like, this guy, we can't believe him. He can't even pronounce the series name right.
They say it both ways in the anime. It's interchangeable. I say Pokemon because it's got the thing over, but everybody says Pokemon or Pokemon. They all do. You can't get on someone's case about that now.
The theme song literally says Pokemon. Like that's what all of us were taught to say.
Well, that's 4 kids. 4 kids. They messed us up.
Yeah, that's the localization problems. It's actually
exactly.
It's actually Pokemon.
In the original Japanese, it's actually Pokemon, which stands for Poketo Monster.
Get it right.
Thank you.
Freaking right.
Thank you for that. That was nice. That was very nice to hear.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
That was good. We can tell you've been to
redeem
Japan.
myself?
We can tell you're a cultured man of culture.
And then someone from Japan listened. I was like, oh, that accent. Ugh.
That's terrible. I'm gonna leave a comment.
Andrew missed the inflection. The inflection was just off. So the pitch accent. That's the word I was looking for. The pitch accent was off.
Yeah. What's the hiragana for actually?
Oh man. It
was a joke.
That actually, I was gonna say that's actually. I'm pretty proud of that localization I just did.
Yeah.
There you go.
How did we get here? What happened?
How did we get here? We got to move on. We're burning up time. We're having too much fun.
We gotta stop the fun, guys. Like seriously, can we get more angry?
Let's stop having fun.
Does anyone want to say something that makes me angry?
Let's stop. Here's something that'll make you angry. It's time for listener questions. Oh, he's rampaging. Okay. Now the steam's coming out of his ears now.
There's nothing I hate more than answering the community.
Oh, that killed my voice. Let's continue.
Good, perfect thing to do while you're in a podcast is destroy your voice.
Yeah, continue. I'm crying. Oh gosh, I'm crying.
I do that too. That's my problem. Is like sometimes even just if I laugh too hard, it'll just make me cough a bunch, and then like it just ruins the funny thing that I'm looking at. I have a very sensitive voice. Listener questions. The first these are good questions though. We'll have to try not to go too long. We'll try to keep it at least a little bit brief.
Are these ones written by you, by the way, or this time, or are these just actually from real viewers?
Only the first ones were written by me. These are from actual listeners.
Wow.
We have some listeners. They ask us questions sometimes. The first question comes from Flip. What's the game you were most hyped to play before release?
Oh.
I presume this means of all time.
All time? I have an answer.
That's huge.
Tell me your answer.
Actually, I would say I have two answers.
Tell me both answers.
Answer number one. Both of them are not the really cool. Like some people say Mario 64, something like that. Mine is Little Big Planet.
That's a good answer.
And Viva Pinata on the DS.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Those are my two. Because Little Big Planet, I was looking, I had like booklets. You know, they used to give out like free booklets of like upcoming games. I would just stare at the Little Big Planet picture and be like, whoa. And I'd like draw like storyboards of like what I wanted my levels to be. And then with Viva Pinata, that's the first time I ever like counted down the days to a release because I always wanted the game, but I didn't have an Xbox.
You are the definition of what the developers, Media Molecule, like hoped people would do with Little Big Planet. That's so. If I hope someone from Media Molecule is listening, the chances are slim, but that would probably make their day.
Can you fly me out?
yeah, that's right.
Can you fly me out somewhere?
Well, yeah, we'll fly out to the next Arlocast.
Okay.
That's a good answer. I love Viva Pinata on the Xbox. I miss those days of like being a kid. I'd say the GameCube era was like my time of just like, even if it was a brand new series, Animal Crossing. Yeah, I had the Nintendo Power, just reading the articles and looking at the screenshots and counting down the days, being so excited.
Preach it.
I think if there was a number one that like just. And it's funny because it was when I became an adult, I got a job. So like that was at the beginning of that video game magic kind of dying out. Those days of being a kid and just being like, just going crazy. But just kind of like right there at the end of that, it was Twilight Princess on the Wii because it coincided with also the Wii, which was this magical new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was nothing was more exciting than Twilight Princess. That's the biggest hype.
I remember you talking about Twilight Princess when we were like actually talking in person. Like you were talking about. You were talking about Twilight Princess and how much you liked it.
I did. I enjoy Twilight Princess. That was some of the most fun I've had with a game. Just being so ridiculously excited for it. What about you, Xion?
The Wii launch was crazy. By the way, like I remember picking it up. Day one and we're picking it up at midnight, I think, or 11 or whatever it was. Only because my grandpa waited in line at GameStop the morning that they were doing pre-orders and he pre-ordered one for me because I was at school or something. Yeah, my grandparents are the best. They I wouldn't be a gamer without them. But for me, I think it's really hard to just pick one, but Animal Crossing, just like the series in general, I think is probably the games that I've gotten the most hype for over the years. I remember the first one I ever had was just the first on GameCube, or at least in the US here, and then I got Wild World and City Folk, but I remember the hype that was leading up to New Leaf. Like I was playing with my girlfriend at the time. We had both like had our copies pre-ordered, and we were reading. I still was subscribed to Nintendo Power at the time, and I was probably reading Nintendo Life articles, or I don't think it was like WiiWare World or whatever it was back in the day, but yeah, and then even just New Horizons too. There was just so much hype around that, because it's a game that you can revolve like your entire life around, almost, just communicating with friends and things like that. And I don't know if the game has really like met my hype levels, unfortunately, at the moment, because we're still missing so many things. But I think the excitement that I just felt for the Animal Crossing series over the years is probably the most, off the top of my head, it's the most monumental. But
It's good.
But that's a huge question. Like thanks.
Yeah.
That was a good story.
It was a good question. It's fun to...
It fills me with the happy feels.
And that's why like the series is just so good, is just because, I mean, the worst thing that can happen to you is you can get stung by a bee, and then you go talk to an animal villager, and they give you medicine to make you feel better, or you have some locked in your suitcase at your house, and then and there we go. All the bad stuff is gone now, And
it's the perfect escapism game. It's the perfect like feel good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Good answers. Moving on. Aaron Bishop asks, this is another good one. This is another one we're going to have to try hard to not go too off the rails. Nintendo hires you to open a restaurant based around their franchises. Ooh. What do you put on the menu? I have a couple ideas.
Oh,
I'm going to start out.
Well, you cheated. You had time to think about it.
I know, I'm sorry. Well, that's why I'm going first. I'm giving you a minute here.
I like that.
Metroid Prime Rib.
Cheeseburger.
Just cheese. Where's the joke? Metroid Prime Rib. What's the cheese? No, well, I got a burger. It's the Bowser burger. You got to have a giant burger, probably like spicy.
That does sound good.
Bowser burger, Metroid Prime Rib.
I'd probably just put like a Mario mushroom pizza on the menu.
I just want ramen.
Mushrooms.
I just want ramen. So I guess I have to do Min ramen.
That's good. Ramen.
I dig that.
It's got to be a pun joke, like pun with the name.
It has to be a pun. Oh.
Well, I'm making that rule.
Okay. Oh, dang, dude. I'm not that good with puns.
Okay, you know what? I guess Bowser Burger wasn't really a pun.
So
okay, it doesn't have to be a pun.
The same letters, so ramen.
The name doesn't have to be special. It's just gotta, whatever.
Dang, is there a single Mario character that starts with an R?
Can I put like Captain Falcon vegan wings on the menu?
Captain Falcon's.
Just be really like.
That's good.
Sure.
That's really good.
Like roast Kuko.
Ooh. See, those are like the real answers. I'm over here like, ramen with Min, burgers.
Side of toast. It's Kirby toast.
Kirby toast. Kirby, Waddle Dee waffles. There we go. That's mine. Waddle Dee waffles.
Waffle D. Ooh. That's pretty good.
Waffle D. There we go. I mean, technically that was your idea. Now you stole my idea and made it better in every way. So
sausage links. That's a pretty easy one.
But you started
sausage link.
Yeah.
With Link. That one hurt.
That's pretty good. What's a Pikmin salad?
Oh yeah, that actually sounds like really cute.
Yeah, I just have like different colored like carrots and stuff.
Like tomatoes, like a little carrot, little tiny carrot, little tiny I don't know what's blue. Blue something.
There's blue carrots.
Blue carrots, just blue, red, and yellow
Is
carrots.
There? Yeah.
I guess Luigi's Pizza would probably replace my pizza one as well, because that just sounds like just a straight up.
Yeah, that's a real place. We had a Luigi's. There's a trillion Luigi's, and they're all separately owned.
Right.
Good answers, but we can't beat Metroid Prime Rib, so I'm going to move on.
Yep, you win.
I'll just be over here eating my wings. It's fine.
Hey, this is a good thing on the YouTube comments. Give us your Nintendo food. That's pretty good, too. Final question. Dracaria asks, what's your perfect Sunday? I will go first. For me, the perfect day off. I get up, maybe if it's not summertime, I'll sleep in before, so it's not too hot outside. In the morning, go for a walk. Just like a long walk around the river trail. Takes like 2 hours. Just a nice nature walk. Get my body feeling good and feeling like I did some exercise for the day, so I don't have to feel guilty about the stuff that I do to my body afterwards, which is get a burger or something and just play video games for the rest of the day. That's the day off. No, I don't spend it with anybody. It's just me going for a walk and then eating food while I play video games. That's the perfect Sunday.
Wow.
That does sound like the dream.
That's like the adult dream.
Yeah, my roommates are gone, or I just live alone in this magical scenario.
Man.
What about you, Xeon?
The perfect Sunday for me usually involves like vanilla ice cream, sprinkles, peanut butter, and bananas. And I'm set.
That's the whole.
That is, I don't even need chocolate on there. That was the question, right?
The whole day is just that right there?
Yeah, you asked what my favorite perfect Sunday was, right?
Oh, I get it. That's funny. You're a funny guy.
That is legitimately what I thought the question was. And then you started describing the day, and I had I thought I completely just didn't hear you. I was like, what is he talking about?
I get a lot of food questions.
Clicked,
maybe they were talking about Sundays. I don't know that they weren't.
So my perfect Sunday probably involves something very similar to what you said. I'm a big people person, so I love hanging out with someone or even talking like on the phone. Like if I'm tasking or I'm playing a game, or if I just got done playing a game and I really want to talk about it or something, I might call up a friend or see if someone wants to come over. And now that I live in Oregon, I pretty much know nobody. So now nobody comes over.
Oh.
Now I just call my friends and they're like, do you want to play some games online? And I'm like, no, I just want to talk. And they're like, what is wrong with you?
You know what? One of these days, I'm going to make that 5-hour drive up there. I'm not too far away. We'll play some video games.
See,
oh my God, dude, I
you're like an hour away from Loxton. We'll all get together. We'll meet at his house.
You're right. Yes, please.
What's it with y'all extroverts over here? Y'all extroverts?
I'm really not an extrovert. I like playing video games, but I'm definitely not an extrovert.
I was calling people. You know how hard it is for me to call people?
I don't know.
You know how hard it is for me to send a text message?
This conversation here has got me. I'm shaking right now. I'm just terrified.
Is it my turn?
Oh, it is. You know, we got to move it along. It's your turn, Andrew.
Okay,
yes, it's your turn.
My perfect Sunday. I stay up a little late, maybe like 1 or 2 a.m.
Spicy.
Just chilling. Sleep in till like noon. Wake up. Take a shower.
No showers on my day.
There's this pizza place near us, a Hideaway Pizza. It's not like super local, but I think it's only in Oklahoma. I'm pretty sure. So it's like a local chain pizza. Fantastic stuff. Going for a walk in the park. There's a really nice park nearby too. Just walk through. There's deer there. And then just coming back, watching some videos. Maybe playing a little like a classic game. Like I've been into Sam and Max lately. Get a little bit of that Sam and Max.
Very
in there.
nice.
Wow.
And then just kind of just chill. I just want to do anything except eat pizza, walk, and maybe play a game.
What you described sounds like the 90s dream.
You're welcome. I am a 90s kid. Barely.
Yeah. I'm
in spirit.
I'm firmly rooted in the 90s. I was the perfect age.
Same.
Well, I do believe it is time for our last couple segments. The first one is, what you been playing? Andrew, what you been playing recently? Just for fun or for your work or whatever. What you playing?
Well, I mean, I have been doing a little bit of that Battle for Bikini Bottom. I don't know if I call it playing though as much as like going in levels and getting footage and stuff. But if we're talking about playing, I just recently beat Final Fantasy VII for the first time. The original.
Wow.
What was the name of the villain in that one again?
Sephiroth.
Yeah. And Eris.
Yeah, Eris and Sephiroth. And
Clid.
And I'll have you know, I wasn't spoiled about the game before playing. So it was like a whole new experience for me. I mean, I did know about the big one. But, you know, I don't want to say it here because, you know, that's a spoiler.
I was just going to say, how did you made it all this time without knowing what happened?
I know. Well, I'll be honest with you. All I knew is that there was a death in the thing until like 3 years ago.
Wow.
That's incredible.
And I should have played the game 4 years ago, but I played it now.
I thought that wasn't
I didn't
possible.
think it was possible.
I played Final Fantasy VII. Fantastic game.
Never finished
I played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Which is also a fantastic game for the PSP.
PSP, yeah.
PSP. And then I played a little bit of that Sam and Max. I bought the first season of Sam and Max. I played it as a kid, and I just wanted to play it again. And other than that, a power washing simulator is fun.
I've heard about that, yeah.
Which Sam and Max are you playing? Is this like the... Because I think I've only played the newer Telltale one, but I've always wanted to go back and play the Lucas
I
Arts
bought
one.
the LucasArts one, but I haven't played it yet. I'm mostly just going for that old nostalgia feeling of I had Sam and Max on
Sure.
the Wii as like a child.
Yeah.
And technically it wasn't a children's game, but I still did it. Haha. It's a funny bear. It's a funny dog and rabbit. Haha.
Take that, Mom.
You'll never understand me. But yeah, I've just been playing a lot of random games, but mostly Final Fantasy VII has been taking over my life, and it's been great. I'll take it over more, please.
Excellent. What about you, Xeon?
So I've been playing. I guess I already spilled the beans on this one, but I played Doki Doki Literature Club earlier this week, and that was crazy.
So good.
I highly recommend. If you can handle the potential horror that the game will inject into your brain,
Dude,
if you can get past that.
I don't want to cut you off. It's just like, dude, the
No,
game's
please, go
so
ahead.
good. It is literally one of my favorite well-written games. Like, it is so well written.
I had no idea.
Dan Salvato, an absolute genius. He's a cool guy. He stopped by my stream one day and we chatted a little bit.
Wow.
He's
for
a
real?
legit cool guy. And he wrote I think he wrote basically all the game. There's probably some people who helped along with it, but he's just a genius writer. And like the things that he left in the files of the game, I remember I played it with my wife when it first came out, not knowing what to do. Well, I guess she was my girlfriend then, but after the game we like went through the files ourselves and just like found like all these like creepy like secrets and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll stop talking now, but very good game. So
No,
good.
you're all good. That's one of the cool things with it too is I played it on Switch, and it's I don't know if the base version is still free on Steam or PC or not, but
I'm pretty sure
I
it
almost
is, but
I almost wish I would have played the PC version instead, because the game plays differently and some
Yeah.
of the hooks aren't as immersive. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, like if you're into Danganronpa and 999,
999.
you can stomach some of that.
Oh my man, you are a
Right.
good guy. Anyone who's played
I haven't played Zero's Escape or Virtue's Last Reward or the third one. I haven't played those, but 999 I loved.
you should give it a try. You should give that a try. I like those games too.
I
You should give
know.
it a try.
I'm glad. I'll put them a little bit higher on the backlog then.
Arlo, have you played 999?
I have not. I've heard good things.
All
though.
right, moving on. Zio.
Moving on.
And then I also I beat not Samus Returns. I beat Zero Mission for the first time, because I've started plenty of Metroid games. And I feel like, Arlo, you'll be happy to hear this, that I beat Zero Mission like 3 weeks ago maybe, and I loved it. Absolutely
good.
loved it. And I started Samus Returns shortly after that, and I'm at the tail end. I think I only have a couple Metroid left on my scanner. I don't know if there's more past it than that, because I've stayed spoiler free. And I'm still digging it, not nearly as much as I liked Zero Mission, because I feel like Samus Returns gets a little repetitive, just defeating some of the same Metroid over and over, and some of the enemies are the same, and it's just generally a longer game. But yeah, I'm almost done, and I'm probably going to finish that this weekend.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, it's because it has to stick at least, like, it's a big reimagining, but it has to stick at least somewhat to the original, which does mean, it's just the design. It's repetitive and it's a little linear and stuff. So yeah, I definitely see that.
Sure, that's a good point.
That's good.
Yeah, specifically, yeah, and there was one, I think it was Area 6. Like, I don't want to spoil things for people, but Area 6 felt so linear. Like, almost to me, it was like almost to a fault, and it's so close towards the end-ish of the game, I think, that I was just, I don't know, maybe I'm just like ready for it to be done, and there's this new area came up, and
Sometimes shorter games are better.
yeah, absolutely. But I'm still having a good time with it. It's not like I'm not playing this and like, forget Metroid. I'm not even touching Super Metroid or Fusion. I'm absolutely gonna go play those. But
So what you're saying is you're playing a game and you're just playing it and saying, yeah, it's okay. And it's okay.
yeah.
How dare you? Are you a YouTuber or are you a freaking weirdo?
Exactly. You got to go online and talk about how you hate it.
You got to mention how you didn't like this part of the game and that it's bad.
I already did that a little bit on Twitter, but can't that just be it? Do I have to make a whole
You
video
have
about
to
it?
make
Yes.
add revenue.
No.
Add revenue. It's all about them sweet dollar signs.
He gets it. He gets it.
Those are good answers. Just a few weeks ago, I played Zero Mission. I know I talk about Metroid all the time, but I was savoring Zero Mission. I put it off for a long time, and I finally played it, and it is very, very good.
You did. Wow.
Well, now I gotta play it.
It's super good.
So how did it feel for you having, because I remember that you said that you were kind of holding off on playing it, right? Because you didn't want the series to be not over, but you wanted there still to be a game for you to play, right?
Yeah,
was that kind of your thought process,
and it was on the
Wii
U, and I just just never got around to it. And I didn't even get into Metroid like that long ago, so that's why I still had some blank spots. Recently, though, this last week, I played a good amount of Mario Golf Super Rush, which I nice. I could do a review and stuff, and I'm already late, and I've already not finished writing it.
I like how you did. I played Mario Golf, and all right.
All right, moving on. No, it was fun. It was all right. It was fun. I enjoy it.
It's Mario Golf.
Yeah, it's Mario Golf. It's fun. But then more recently and more excitingly, I've been playing Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Oh, how is that?
It's so good. I love it so much. I was really, really lucky. They actually sent me an early review copy. They sent me the collector's edition. So I've actually been playing it for a good few days. And I loved the heck out of that game. Nice. I stayed up way too late last night playing it. Woke up, played it more today. I was supposed to be working, but I just kept playing it. I love it so much.
Dude, I like it when you're happy.
I like it when I'm happy too.
I like it when the Blue Monster Band is happy.
I do. It
fills me with such joy. Seeing your profile picture on there light up with happiness.
Yeah. I am happy. Any plans to play that one for you too?
Well, now I get. Do I have to play the first one?
No, you don't have to play the first one. You don't have to play any other Monster Hunter game. It stands completely on its own. And it's super good. And it's
Andrew is interested.
I already talk a lot about Pokemon Sword and Shield, but just all over again playing. It's not even that I get that you can't have all these unique animations for all the Pokemon because there's so many, but it's even just the cutscenes and the mechanics. They just put more into it. They're what are some cool things we could do with turn-based combat? And it's just wow, Pokemon really is boring. When I play something like this.
I'm gonna say a secret.
What's your secret?
I didn't play Pokemon as a kid, so I can't get into it, dude.
Where
just
were
can't
you?
do it.
No, it's not. If I had never played as a kid, I don't even know if I would like it now. It just compared to other stuff.
Pokemon as a concept. I love looking at Pokemon. I really like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon New Snap. Because I like looking at the Pokemon, experiencing the Pokemon.
Yeah, they're cool.
But I've never played the games as a kid, so I never really got super into the game play.
Yeah.
And you put it really well, too, that the newer games are just, at least the mainline series is just kind of boring. I went back and played Blue earlier this year, and I had a ton of fun with it, mostly because of nostalgia, but just for the fact of how simple the game was. But when I go and play, I started Shield last, was that 2 years ago? I don't even know anymore. But I got my starter evolved to the third form, and then I just went, I'm fine. I don't even care anymore. And I think it was a lack of attention, you're in a battle in a building, and it's because you're fighting somebody in a random hotel down the street in the game. Now the environment is now just purple when you're battling, and it just pulls you out of the experience. And it's you're telling me Pokemon Company couldn't have just had us fight in that area instead. They couldn't have just extended the floor a little bit more to let Pokemon fight in it.
I want to let you know a little secret. They could do that.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't have sold more copies.
Exactly.
Why bother?
Exactly. Yeah.
When you can get out, why take 6 years to get out a game when you could take 2 years and sell the same amount?
Yep. That's the problem.
Business, baby. It's just business.
And it's great.
It's just business, baby.
I have the saddest look on my face right now.
I'm sorry. I'm
so glad you can't see it. No, it's okay.
Just playing Monster Hunter Stories 2, there's so many cutscenes. It's there's a cutscene where there's this monster, and it's oh no, it's gonna attack us. And there's stuff, and they animate it. And I'm this is too much for Pokemon.
Pokemon literally hasn't changed.
Even they gave us one cutscene. They have one cutscene at the beginning. Yeah, they get where the starters come on screen and they go, oh, wow, that was animated pretty well. It's just that's it for the whole game.
It's the thing is I watched some I watched, I'm going to admit it, I watched Let's Plays. That's right. I do that. I watched a Let's Play of someone playing Pokemon Coliseum or in some other Pokemon games from the GameCube era and stuff like that. I'm wow, this looks exactly the same as nowadays, except that it's a little bit nicer looking models.
Yeah, it's hard, but I've spent enough time complaining about Pokemon, so I suppose we should move on. Point is...
Well, I'm glad you're digging stories. That's good to hear.
That's all that matters.
It is mega super fun.
Is it like Pokemon stories? Or were you just like making
It's turn-based, so it's, it's similar in that way. Okay. And then you do get monsters and raise them and stuff, so there's definitely a Pokemon element.
Cool. Okay. I was just curious.
For me, though, it's less about the monster raising and more about just, like, the presentation and the battle. Like, there's so many cool strategic concepts that go into battle that the idea of picking from 4 moves every turn and that's it is like, wow, how did I ever do that? Like...
All's good, man. All's good.
Oh, we have run so long. Oh, it's just, he's going to charge me so much to edit this one, but that's okay. We're on to our very final segment, and that segment is, What You Been Eating? This is my favorite one.
I knew it. I knew this is coming.
Yeah. There's food. There's always food talk. Yeah, what's just like some good food you've had recently? A notable meal?
Oh, no.
So I thought about this. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. I specifically thought about this one beforehand. And normally I'm the kind of person that doesn't remember what they ate. Like, if you ask me what I ate yesterday, it's even right now, it's a struggle. But I formulated what I was going to say. And for the most part, I've just been eating a lot of burgers.
Oh, yeah, that's such a good answer. I love burgers.
Yeah.
I like burgers too.
That's great.
We're best friends.
Oh my gosh. So I'm not the kind of person that will like go out and flaunt this either, but I'm a vegetarian. So like for the longest time, burger options for me, because I've been one for years, burger options just weren't rich. They just weren't readily available. And I lived in Wisconsin, which is an area that revolves around meat. Yeah. And
it's the cheese place.
It is. Yep. Everybody wears cheese hats.
Well, you got to put the cheese on something.
Yep. We all pray to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and without him, the state would be nothing. So
finally, people like me.
Right? Yeah, you should move there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so in Oregon here, there's like tons of options for veggie burgers and Impossible burgers and stuff, and so like I've just been. It feels like every restaurant I go to, I have an option, and that's the best thing, because I don't hate on people that eat meat. Like, please, you do you, but it's great that I can still do me too. It's like you said, Andrew. Just why not both?
Why not both?
That's the moral of the podcast. Why not both?
Exactly. My friend Brian. He converted to veganism a few years ago. I always have to say it the most severe way possible. I don't know why. I just think it's funny. No, but I tried a little nibble of his Impossible burger. I was thoroughly impressed by how much it actually kind of tastes and feels like meat.
I don't get it either. The first time I had it was actually Arlo. It was at Midwest Gaming Classic, not that same year, but there was a restaurant downtown in Milwaukee that I went to, and I was with 2 coworkers at the time, and so the first time I ever had one. And I've been a vegetarian now for I think 10 or 11 years now, and this was probably like 3 years ago. But I almost cried the first time I ate one, because and it's so close, right?
Yeah,
like that it like a bunch of memories started like flooding back in of like my grandpa cooking burgers in the kitchen at their house, and it was a weird. I had like a beer in me too, so maybe that had a little effect on it, but it was an experience. I loved it, and yeah. So yeah, not to talk about burgers forever. What have you guys been eating?
Arlo, you want to say you've been eating burgers?
I'm gonna now. I'm gonna, now that we've talked about it. I would say on Twitter, I can't remember if I've talked about this in one of these yet, but on Twitter, I frequently tweet about my adventures in trying to perfect my chocolate cream pie.
I love those tweets, by the way. They make
you
me
enjoying
so
those? I have the picture. I need to do a tweet about my latest one, but it turned out pretty good. It was a lot lighter and fluffier than usual, and I'm still working on the topping. But that was my highlight. I've got it in the freezer. I have to really fight the urge to not just eat that for lunch. Like, just sit down in front of it and just eat it like it's lunch. Because I make a huge thing of it.
I had a huge donut for breakfast, so I won't judge.
I didn't eat breakfast.
Yeah, so what are you eating?
So I don't know if I've had like anything like really good within like the past week, because most
Anytime
of it has
recently,
been just
then.
like. So let's just say this. I have been thoroughly enjoying some garlic fried rice.
Oh, garlic fried
sounds
rice.
incredible.
Garlic fried rice at this place called Tamashi. And you go in there, and they make like an egg in like a cast iron pan. There's like an egg, just put down there, and then they put on the rice, and then they put on the green onions, and then they take this sauce, the garlic sauce, and they sprinkle it on it right in front of you, and then they cut it up for you and put it down, and it tastes so good. It's so, I make it sound fancier than it is. It's not that fancy place. They have anime like on the walls, like playing 24/7. It's not fancy. But it's so good.
My mouth is watering right now.
Sounds so good.
Maybe it's from the water I was just drinking, but I don't think so.
So like we're really at the end, and we have run so long, and I shouldn't push it any further, but I just have to because it just kind of came up, and I think I've told this story in my Arlocast, which I just realized is technically another podcast that I have done. So the thing I said at the beginning of the show was a lie. Sorry, it wasn't public. I was talking about public podcasts. I have to tell a story just because you're from Oklahoma, right?
That is correct.
And you're talking about fried rice. So it just put the story in my head. We're going to close out with a story.
Oh, yes, please.
I love a good story.
Yes.
It's not a graphic. It's a throw up story.
Oh.
So anybody who doesn't I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah, I regret saying that I love a good story.
Yeah, see, that's why this is at the end. I'm not going to go into detail, but, if anybody doesn't like a throw-up story alluded to, you can stop now. It's the last thing we're talking about.
Okay, so you can find me on Twitter over at Xeon Dude.
Beta64 and everything. Twitter.
Run! No, okay. No, it's not. No, seriously. It's not going to be too bad.
Okay, go for it.
I was in Oklahoma. I actually went to Retropalooza, which is in Texas, and that was a lot of fun. And I traveled with some family because I decided my grandparents live in Altus, Oklahoma.
I feel like you've told me.
I decided to wrap it into a family trip. So some of my family came with me, and I did the con. We got a car and went to, it was like a 5-hour drive or whatever to Altus. And so the real thing is like right next to the little hotel. It's out in the middle of nowhere. It's such a tiny little town. There's like nothing there. It's just flat lands just for miles and miles. We're on the edge of town. And yet right next to the hotel, I see a restaurant. And the sign says, donuts and fried rice.
Donuts?
And I'm like, you had me at donuts and fried rice.
What?
It was, my mind was blown by the idea of mixing these things together into one restaurant. I got some donuts and fried rice. And, oh gosh, I get the heartburn just thinking about it. And the fried rice was very good. I ordered like a giant thing of really spicy fried rice. And so like I eat it for dinner or whatever. And then like everyone goes to bed. And like I'm just up late, I guess. And I'm really hungry in the middle of the night. But we're all sharing one room, like one motel room. But like I've got a bunch of family members crammed in there and they're all asleep. It's the middle of the night. So it's me in the far corner of the room, kind of like hunched halfway underneath one of the beds. Just picture me, and it's a pitch black room. Oh. Pitch black room. I'm lying on the floor and just stuffing my face with a giant thing of fried rice, just like in the middle of the night. Just like, just going. I was probably eating some leftover donuts too.
This is a great picture.
I can imagine this perfectly.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is one of my family members had a sick to their stomach problem on the plane over, and we thought it was just motion sickness, but it turned out it was a virus that I probably gave to a bunch of people at Retropalooza because I didn't realize I had it.
Ooh.
And we were even like, I'm not going to see my grandparents on the first day just in case we are sick. Okay, everything is probably okay. We don't want to go, they're old. We don't want to give them a virus or anything. And so like, I just spend that night just shoveling super spicy fried rice and donuts into my mouth in a dark room in the corner.
Were there donuts in the fried rice?
No, it's just kind of like you buy both and eat both, I guess.
In his belly, there were donuts in the fried rice.
There was a much mixing. And so to make a long story short, I then visited my grandparents, and in the middle of the visit, had an issue. A big issue.
Oh my God.
And it would have already been an issue, even if I hadn't just stuffed myself silly with donuts and spicy fried rice.
Gosh.
So that's the
poor
story. I don't even know if it was worth telling, but that
was an incredible story.
It was an experience.
Dude.
This is such a long episode. This is longer than the post E3 episode. We got to cut it short.
We only talked about one video game news. Let
We
that
did.
be clear. Let that be clear.
One single news item was like an hour and a half long thing or something.
But it was a pleasure,
that's very
Arlo.
funny.
It was a pleasure.
It was wonderful. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Yes.
Good
Yeah,
chemistry, good conversation. It's been a
love this.
wonderful time.
I think everybody needs to know before we even started recording that we talked for like a half an hour, and like Arlo had to shut it down and was like, "This is too funny.
There's too
The
much
jokes."
interesting stuff.
All right. Any final words? Where can we find you guys most often? Anything else to plug? What do you got? What do you got, Andrew?
Oh, me? Oh, okay. Well, this is a long story, so let me get into this.
Okay.
First place you can find me at is, I'm even going to do it. I'm going to say it, Twitch. Twitch.tv
Yeah, go for it.
/Beta64. I stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And we do things that, I don't know, we play games. We do Windows 3D Movie Maker nights where we just make movies and...
That's incredible.
And we mod Wii Sports live on stream, which I can legally do. I had no idea until I tried it, and no one's taken me down yet. So
No one said
Nice.
anything.
Watch me until I get taken down, guys. It'll be fun. And then
Sounds like a good time.
YouTube Battle for Bikini Bottom video will be happening sooner rather than later. As long as I keep working late, I can do this. And then Twitter, Discord. Discord.gg /Beta64. That's all.
Very good. What about you, Zeon?
You could find me over at Nintendo Life. I make tons of videos with the boys, John and Alex, and we do pretty much weekly videos now over there. It's pretty crazy. So I usually put out 2 or 3, maybe 4 if we're getting crazy a week, and we're covering tons of topics on Switch stuff and retro. And honestly, I guess I feel like the majority of your listeners already probably know this because I watch your videos, Arlo, and so I feel like our communities are very intertwined. But
Very
you can also
much,
find
yeah.
me. Yeah. You can also find me on Twitter, just ZIONDOOD, like Disgaea, but I'm not even really like a big Disgaea fan either. I just like the way dude is spelled, and I post quite a bit, almost an unhealthy amount on Twitter these days. So yeah, you can find me over there too.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but like the subscriber count on YouTube for my channel and the Nintendo Life channel has been like neck and neck for like 3 years now.
Has it really?
Who will win?
Like I'm starting to think we just have 100% crossover.
We might.
I'm starting to think it's just the exact same audience.
I gotta go look now and see where it's at now.
Yeah, where's it at? Go check for me.
Oh man, we're beating you just by like. So you're at 572. We're at 603, which honestly, it's not even a race. That's not the point.
No, it's a race.
But I
got a
do
bump
now that
more
you mention
recently.
that, I do remember that. It's probably also because we have 3 people. That could be part of it. And John and Alex, they're just saints.
I'm just one little monster.
But he's a monster. That's right. You don't have a monster, do you?
I'm just one little guy.
For you and your team, you're the amount of subscribers and views you pull in is insane. That has to be applauded.
I'm gonna applaud it right now. Watch me go.
Please do. Keep going.
Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going. Both of you.
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry
Thank you.
for stopping.
Thank
Can I
you.
just add a hysterical laughter in? Well deserved.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
he's so funny.
This is a good episode. We gotta stop though. Thank you guys for coming.
Of
Wave
course.
to the camera and say goodbye.
Bye. I'm legitimately waving. You won't be able to see, but
Wave.
I am.
I'm waving.
I'm
Wave
waving.
with
Wave
both
at the
hands.
microphone.
Both hands.
Say
Okay, both
bye.
hands, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
I've never done this.
Do it again.
Goodbye.
Do it again.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Keep going. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. One more time. Bye.
Bye. And that, my friends, is the end of another episode of Arlocast. That probably ran pretty long, but we had a good time doing it. Hope you had a good time listening. One final thanks to our guests, Andrew from Beta64 and Xeon from Nintendo Life. Be sure to follow at Arlocast on Twitter for updates and to submit questions, etc. This episode was edited and produced by Chris Jones. All the music you have been enjoying was created by Northnan. The Arlocast logo was created by Mario Castañeda. Links to all socials, channels, etc. for all guests and artists, along with an address for business inquiries, can be found in the show notes. As with all things I do, I am supported in part by my Patreon patrons, so an extra special thank you to them. Thanks again for listening, and we will catch you next time on Arlocast.
Good luck. We love you.